What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for coming through. Much appreciated. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you've come back to watch another video, thank you very much. Alright, let's get straight into it. I've just watched Chsora versus Agit Kabayel for the European heavyweight title. Obviously, Chosora's lost. He lost by a majority decision, so one judge had it a draw and a couple of other judges just about narrowly gave it to Agit Kabayel. I scored it very easily to Agit Kabayel. I didn't see it as a close fight like the judges did, and Chosora's got a couple of these. Even I remember the Pulev fight was a split decision. Pulev won that by about 4 or 5 rounds, and again now Chsora has almost been helped, I think, because it looks like it's a close result, right? So if you didn't watch the fight and you just saw the results, you might think that Chsora got robbed. He didn't. He lost the fight quite convincingly. I'm not sure what Chsora does now, if I'm honest with you. I done a preview video for this fight, and I just said that he has to win. There is no ifs, buts, maybes. He has to win. I think Eddie Hearn has said it as well. That not only did he have to win, Eddie Hearn was saying he has to look bloody good in order to get potentially the Joseph Parker fight, potentially a fight against Dillian Whyte in terms of a rematch. He has to look good. He didn't. He looked shit. And this is the thing with Chsora, and this is the thing that he's going to look back at his career. Chsora, I don't think, takes, if you like, the smaller fights. I'm going to call them smaller because of the name value of the opponent. It took smaller fights very serious. It could be that, or it could just be a case of he's not good enough. Right? He's not good enough. He meets someone that is fresh, is young, is strong, is big, and he doesn't have the boxing ability, the strength, or the know-how to get rid of someone like that. Chsora has never ever been a knockout artist, so you know it's going to go 12 rounds with Chsora, and if he meets someone that's big and sturdy, he's going to have problems, and that's what he met in the German Kabayel. Couple of things. Where was Don Charles? I'm not sure what the issue is again. I don't know if it's a visa problem or whatever. Don does travel around Europe with other fighters, so I'm not quite sure why Don Charles wasn't in the corner. He could have needed Don Charles. Yes, Chosora's experienced, but he could have needed that ear in the middle rounds when it was starting to slip away. Someone just to kind of tell him, look, wake the fuck up right now because you're losing this. And potentially, look, you're not just losing this, potentially you're losing, I dare say, a couple of million. Dillian Whyte, Chsora rematch, the hype it would have bought, possibly, I don't think it should have, but possibly could have gone on the pay-per-view. Maybe on the undercard of something big. It could have done it, right? If AJ is going to fight again in March, it could have done the undercard of that, and they would have both got pay-per-view points, and so you lose out on big money for that. You lose out on potentially, if you were to beat Dillian Whyte, and again, this is all ifs, buts, and maybes now, if you were to beat Dillian Whyte, you probably got a chance of the Joseph Parker fight. You've lost all that now. You're 33 years of age, and you've lost to, I hate to say this, but a nobody. I think Kabayel's good, by the way. I think Kabayel is a very, very good European heavyweight champion, and potentially could go on to be fringe world level. But right now, he's a nobody, and that's who Chosora's lost to. I also said on my preview video, how many times can Chsora go to the world? I watched the Dillian Whyte fight again. When did I watch that fight? About 2 weeks ago. That fight was brutal. Like brutal. We in the crowd, we scream, yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are the kind of fights where the boxers feel the effects of those fights, just in terms of the headaches and the sleepless nights for weeks. That fight is brutal. Dillian Whyte can survive that kind of fight because Dillian Whyte's young and hasn't had those type of brutal fights before. He can survive it. Chsora, who's had those before and he's 33, those take a bit more longer for you to recover. They take more out of you. He had the warm-up fight against Filipovic, which was a nothing, and then he's had this one. And I just think that he went to the well, and the well was very much empty and dry, and there was nothing there for him. And I feel for Chsora now. I don't know. He said after the fight that he'll come back. He always does. I'm not quite sure how Eddie Hearn makes a comeback out of this. I'm not quite sure. You look at the domestic British scene, there's nothing there. What he now becomes is an opponent. So they'll put him against people now that he's expected to lose. And if he pulls off the upset, then yeah, he's kind of back. But will he pull off the upset? Again, I said this about Chsora. There is no punch. There is no great movement. There is no speed. There's nothing technical about him. He gets through these fights with just sheer will, grit, and power. And unfortunately, we all saw it, or for those of you who've watched the fight, there was no will, grit and power. There just was nothing there, and it's a shame. By the way, these Monte Carlo fight cards are shit. I'm not quite sure if he has some sort of contract with them and he has to go there once every couple of years, but just zero atmosphere. There's no fans. I just don't get it. And it's not a place for real boxing fans. Let's be honest, Monte Carlo or Monaco, whatever, is uber expensive. For your average guy, it's just not going to go there and watch a fight. It's just too expensive. And I don't know why we do these shows there. It's a shame because I feel like real hardcore fans have missed out on the Scott Quigg's performance, which I thought was good. Dimitri Bivol looked fantastic in his first round stoppage. And obviously, people are not going to see this Agit Kabayel performance against Chsora. Why are these fights happening in this awful arena, which is just for bigwigs and millionaires? It's not for real fight fans, and that's a shame. But yeah, guys, what do you think about Chisora's performance? Sorry, I'm just looking at the TV because I'm watching, don't know, watching a sex scene just appeared on my screen. I don't know what. Alright, anyway, leave your comments below. Peace.